MartellHolt just pulled one of the boldest moves we've ever seen. And the best part is, she didn't even have to raise her voice to do it. After years of being called the bitter ex, she finally flipped the script with one leaked, recording a confession straight from ArionneCurry's own mouth that exposed every lie MartellHolt ever tried to tell. For so long, Martell acted like Melody exaggerated the truth. Like she couldn't forgive. Like their marriage fell apart because of her. But Arionne's own words, talking about how a man you're sleeping with should at least give you respect, and how someone can respect you without being honest, cracked everything wide open and sent the entire internet into chaos. To understand why this hit so hard, you have to remember that Melody and Martell were once Huntsville's golden couple, successful, admired, building businesses and a family that looked perfect from the outside. While Martell was secretly living a double life with Arionne, he fed both women the same lies, promising futures, playing victim, manipulating emotions, and when Melody finally found out, it wasn't private. It was humiliating and public. Even after she left him, he kept taking shots at her online, twisting the story. And Arionne played along like she won something. But all the while, Melody stayed quiet, watching and waiting. Then the recording surfaced, reportedly from Arionne venting to someone she trusted without realizing she was being recorded. In the audio, she supposedly admits Martell lied to both women, used her financially and emotionally, promised her things he never planned to deliver, and wasn't the successful man she thought he was, especially after losing Melody, who was the backbone of everything he had. Once that tape hit the internet, social media exploded. Even Martell's usual defenders went silent while Melody remained calm. Posting. Nothing. Saying nothing. Letting the truth do all the work. People believe Melody may have had the recording for a while and waited strategically for the perfect moment. Right as Martell was trying to repair his image with interviews and new narratives, the release completely crushed his credibility. And Martell reacted the only way he knows how: denial, excuses, and trying to deflect blame back onto Melody, but nobody believed him. Comment sections dragged him for fumbling his entire life and still acting like the victim. Meanwhile, the recording made him look financially unstable and emotionally desperate. It's the opposite of the strong businessman he pretended to be. For Melody, this wasn't revenge, was closure. After years of public humiliation, gossip, and lies, she didn't have to fight anymore. The truth finally spoke for her. Arionne, on the other hand, is now facing the painful reality that she wasn't chosen, or special. She was used and misled just like everyone else. Martell is left standing alone as sponsors pull back, producers lose patience, and even his castmates distance themselves. While Melody continues to glow, grow, and thrive. Everything Martell tried to break only made her stronger. Now people are wondering whether this is the end of his reputation completely. Because although he'll probably try to spin the story again, this time the truth didn't come from Melody yet, came from Arionne herself. And Melody didn't have to clap back or argue. She simply let the tape play, and that was her checkmate. And now that the dust is settling, the aftermath is almost unbelievable. Martell is scrambling, trying to hold on to whatever pieces of his image he has left. But every move he makes just makes things worse. His attempts to shift blame and paint himself as misunderstood only highlight how deeply he depended on deception to keep his world together. The more he talks, the more obvious it becomes that he never had control. He only had chaos disguised as confidence. Meanwhile, Melody is moving in complete peace, and that peace is powerful. She's not responding to the noise, not feeding the drama, not entertaining the negativity. She's focusing on her career, her children, her growth, and it shows. Her silence has become her strength, making her look even more composed and mature while Martell spirals publicly. What's even wilder is how fans, bloggers, and viewers who once doubted Melody are now apologizing out loud, admitting they didn't see the full picture until the truth slipped right out of Arionne's mouth. Melody never had to defend herself because time and truth did the work for her. And Arionne, instead of standing tall like she used to, it's gone quiet too, because now she realizes the man she fought for, defended and believed in, was never protecting her in the first place. She wasn't the upgrade. She was the distraction, and now that she's seeing Martell crumble from his own doing, she finally understands she was never the priority, only a convenience. The entire situation has become a warning about arrogance, lies, and the slow but sure power of karma. Martell spent years trying to rewrite the story, but in the end, his own actions wrote the final chapter. Melody didn't ruin him, he ruined himself. And because she chose grace instead of revenge, she came out looking stronger, wiser, and more respected than ever before. This moment has reshaped everything. The cast dynamic, the fan base, even Melody's role on the show. People are rooting for her in a way they never have before.
Okay.
And she's stepping into a new level of success that Martell can only watch from a distance. At this point, the only question left is whether Martell will ever take accountability or if he'll keep pretending he's the victim while the truth is standing in plain sight. Because now, with that recording out in the world, he can't hide behind excuses or charm anymore. Everyone sees him clearly, and that clarity is something he can't spin, can't deny, and can't escape. Melody won this without lifting a finger, proving once again that the loudest power move is staying silent while the truth exposes everything. And as everything continues to unravel, it's becoming clearer than ever that this moment is a turning point, not just for Melody and Martell, but for the entire narrative surrounding their story. Fans who once entertained Martell's excuses are now questioning everything he's ever said, realizing how much of his public persona was built on charm and half-truths. Every time he tries to speak out, he only digs himself deeper. Because people finally see the pattern: blame, denial, distraction, repeat. That cycle doesn't work anymore. Not when the proof comes straight from the woman he tried to elevate above his own wife. Meanwhile, Melody's quietness is turning into a masterclass on how to reclaim power without ever lifting a hand. She's letting her success speak louder than any clapback could. New opportunities, new endorsements, more support than ever, and a level of respect she earned through grace, patience, and resilience. She's becoming the face of moving forward while Martell is stuck replaying his mistakes in real time. What makes it even more shocking is how the public's sympathy has shifted completely. People feel sorry for Melody's past, but they also feel sorry for Arionne now. Realizing she was manipulated, misled, and used as a stepping stone for Martell's ego, she's not taunting anyone anymore. She's embarrassed, quiet, and finally seeing the reality that everyone else saw years ago. And that silence coming from her after years of bold confidence says everything. It confirms that Martell wasn't the man either woman believed him to be. Now, as Martell tries to pick up the pieces, he's facing consequences he never imagined. Fewer business deals, less public support, and producers who are tired of recycling the same storyline because even drama needs growth. And Martell hasn't grown at all. He's learning the hard way that when you burn every bridge, you end up standing alone in the ashes. Meanwhile, Melody is walking into rooms she once couldn't enter because she was weighed down by scandal. Now she's entering those same rooms, shining, free, and more confident than ever. Fans are calling this her rebirth, her comeback, her moment of full circle victory. And they're right, because after everything she endured, cheating, public embarrassment, betrayal, she's finally living a life that isn't tied to Martell's chaos. She's built her own path, her own brand, her own peace. And as for Martell, every day that passes without accountability just proves what the world now knows to be true. He